Has anyone seen 60 Days In? Is that what it's called? Someone help me with that.
No, I haven't heard of it.
Shucks, I just need a few seconds.
Is it a show? Is it a documentary?
60 Days In. Okay, I have it right. All right, it's a show on A&E.
Oh.
You can watch it on their website for free. They just allow you to stream it off their website. And basically, these people, innocent people, agree to be locked up in jail for 60 days. And
because they're stupid.
no, well, they get paid, but so there was a sheriff who was like, he was bad, he was corrupt. I think the sheriff himself got convicted of something or other. I forget the details. And a new sheriff was voted in, and he's cleaning it up. And apparently he's made a lot of good progress. But one of the things he does to clean it up is he has this program where regular people, like Marines, people who want to be police officers someday, teachers, social workers, they go to the jail and they literally just exist as inmates for 60 days.
What's the pay?
They don't tell us.
All right, so that's a good question. Please continue if you have more to cover.
I've got a little more. It's good. So what it is it seems like and no one knows that they're people aside from the sheriff and the captain, right?
And the cameraman.
So the other prisoners think they're regular prisoners.
Exactly. And
how do they keep someone from getting shivved?
Most of the prison guards think they're regular prisoners. Some don't. But
that sounds insane.
This is nonsense. Why would you sign up for this?
It's scary. Now they have some like escape plans. Like if you think that things are starting to boil over, you can say like, "Oh, I really miss hot coffee," and that like sounds the alarms. People are like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, usually in prison there's a very slow build, like a roller coaster, up to where it gets out of control. You know, where it's,
there kind of is actually. Like
I don't know. I've never been.
I haven't been either, but I've watched the show, and you can see like other prisoners are talking about you, and they're like, dude, that guy's fucked up. I don't believe him anymore. Like you can see that you're growing unpopular, and you can say that, and the other thing she is joining the conversation, but the towel around your neck, like if you walk with the towel around. There was like a thing they were supposed to do. I don't know if it was this or what the scoop was, but if you put maybe your towel over your head, but if you walk around like that on camera, that's another way of signaling that you want out, that you're afraid.
This better be a ton of money that they're making.
I don't think it is.
Man, like this could so quickly just turn into the most traumatic thing and just ruin your life. Just getting gang raped or something, or just the shit kicked out of you and stabbed in the hallway. Toothbrush. Yeah, like, man, this is such a high risk for
one of the guys.
A fear factor level reward.
Some of the people are doing terrible. There's one guy, he's a teacher, and he's like, look, I work 2 jobs. And I want to be like, fuck off. Like, one of them is a summer job. Don't act like you work 2 jobs, you dick.
Yeah. You should just say, I do 2 different things.
Right? Yeah, you get all summer off. Stop it.
When my one job stops, I start another.
I don't take the whole summer off.
It's the hardest thing. Anyway, I'm getting off track. He's like, I work 2 jobs. I can't wait to get into prison. I'm just going to lay down. He kept talking about stretching his toes. Apparently this guy's toes are in dire need of stretching because he mentioned it at least 6 times, how he was going to lay down and stretch his toes and how it was no problem for him whatsoever. And then he gets in there and he just immediately doesn't jive with the other prisoners. And if you're like me at all, you watch the whole thing wondering how you would do. Like, how would you fit in?
Like a red Sharpie on the stall walls and correcting graffiti and telling people that they're spelling incorrect.
He just like crying like the fat man on Shawshank on the first night. That's me.
They roll in there with this mat, right? So you walk in with a mat and you sort of unroll it onto a bunk. And he didn't get a bunk. He just sort of got a spot on the floor. And he lays out on the floor. He puts his feet on... I don't know. In my high school, we had these cafeteria tables that kind of folded up, and he puts his feet on like the chair portion of a cafeteria table, and he's like, "Oh, this is great! Like your life is so much harder than being a prisoner." And all the prisoners are like, "What the fuck is with this guy?" They all think he's a cop. So think about the way he holds himself. It makes him not belong there.
Yeah, you can't just hang out in prison, acting like you're out of this in 20 days. Like, oh, you rubes are in here. Oh, you actually killed someone? Well, I'm going to make 30 grand. Yeah.
There's two attitudes that you have in prison. One is downtrodden and depressed. You should be just like fucking like just looking at the ground and just fucking lots of shaking your head. And when someone looks at you, you visually look like you're thinking back about what you did and going, fucking stupid. You should have known better. Fucking cameras. Everyone has cameras. And then there's like the hard ass guy who's like, this isn't my first time, man. I've been here. That's my old cell over there. I raped 3 guys in there. You know, I think I would.
Oh, the confident rapist. Yeah.
I'm tempted to say. I would not like this. I don't deal with discomfort well. I mean, these B&Bs that are a little below my standards irk me. You know.
I was thinking among my friends how different people would do. I think I'd do very poorly. People like Chiz was like, Woody's got that MMA training. I'm not sure how far that goes. You know, some of these fellas are very large, and that's an issue. Some of them are very large while simultaneously being very young and very strong, right? That's a tough nut to crack.
And they all have more friends than you in prison.
And that's the other thing. So I used to train, and there were these prison guards, and you guys have heard the stories, but one of the takeaways I had is it's not like they set up very many 1v1 fair fights in an open area with mats, right? That's not how this goes down. It's surprise attack, punches in the back of the head, a lock and a sock was the thing that they pointed out all the time.
I remember I told you about that years ago with my Uncle Terry's story about how he talked about the lock and the sock.
Okay, yeah, dude, I swear the prison guard said the same thing.
Really fucked up Dr. Seuss book.
It was. It was like a real fucked up Dr. Seuss book.
I'll give you a smock.
So, and
he's doing 25 right now.
So if you don't open your ass and let me give you a fuck.
So let's assume that any training I've had is completely worthless, and then like after that it's about getting along and fitting in. And I was thinking to myself, although I'm starting to roll back on that a bit, I'm like, Kyle's really good at fitting in everywhere. Like you see him in Boston and he fits in fine amongst all those city folk. You see him in Georgia and he fits in all those fine amongst the hickiest of hicks. And Kyle will just, you know, oh yeah, slow it down, perfect fit. And I'm like, there's no reason to think that he can't do felon just as well as he's done everything else.
Black people like me. Black people like me. And I don't think I'm taking too big of a step to say that it's probably going to be a large population of black people in jail. So I think I'd be okay as far as that. I don't think I'd get in any trouble.
Big Aryan guy is going to think you're real cute right off the bat. You know, there's going to be some 6'8" guy with 10
This isn't federal
swastikas,
penitentiary. This is fucking county lockup.
Oh, okay.
He's right about that.
I really built this up into something that... So this guy's just really hanging out in a room with everybody who got too drunk walking around the city.
It's my understanding that the federal stuff is not as bad. That it's tightly regulated and they kind of have their act together, and it's jail that's loosely regulated and ugly stuff happens.
I didn't know. Well, I don't know if
I think it would go 2 different ways. Either one, I make some friends and I'm able to I had that little spark during a conversation that I'm imaginarily having with some scary guys, and I make them laugh. If I can ever get on their good side and be like, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that funny white boy over there, he's great. Yeah, he tells me all kind of stories. Like if I could be that guy.
Yeah.
If I could be like your dancing monkey for 60 days and I make you guys laugh, some real knee slappers, that'd be great. But I feel like if I go in there and I'm like, hey man, what's up? And he's just like, but like that's it for him. That's all I had to say to piss him off. He's like, why are you talking to me? You trying to fuck me? You trying to get one over on me? And I'm like, oh shit, I picked Crazy Pete. He's the one I try to warm up to. He's the fucking maniac over there in the corner, like whittling his toothbrush into a stabbing weapon. That's the guy I picked up for friend. But I think if you make friends, you're good. If you don't, you're not, right? That's how life is.
Dude, I would just get... Yeah. I feel like at one point I'd tell someone he has to consider the context in which that was said, and they'd be like, you know, you talk like a bitch.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I would just be done.
Yeah. You'd have to...
You'd either have to be like really funny and hope that they appreciate your high-stakes stand-up, or... You know, hey, you better really knock him dead out there, break a leg, you know, make him laugh or you're going to get raped.
What if you just walk out there?
Or you have to act totally crazy. Like, just randomly, as soon as you walk in, just, like, sit in the corner and don't move. Like, you have to really commit to this. Just, like, sit in the corner and just look at it for, like, 5 hours, randomly laughing, just bursting out. Like, that might be a good approach, because then they might... Or you loudly announce your HIV. Loudly. You know, or Hep C. You know, God, this Hep C is really really bad.
When do we get our HIV medicine?
I'm starting to
do one
feel
of those.
faint.
The guy looks at you like, he's retarded and he's got AIDS. Let's not fuck with that guy. Like worst thing we could do is hit him and
a retarded woman came in.
Something. Yeah, yeah.
A retarded woman comes in.
How'd you get AIDS? Last time I was in here.
A woman comes in and she's
I got
not.
Nothing to lose.
That's a good sling blade impression.